I awoke, still in a dream, or so it seemed. My head felt a little fuzzy. I saw stars in the night sky above me and a flickering glow to my right. I felt the warmth, but I turned and saw it was coming from a large fire several feet away. Not from Sydney or Monica, who weren't next to me anymore. I heard crackling coming from within the flames. The fire wasn't college party bonfire-sized, but it was close to it. The light from the fire made it hard to see anything else around me for a moment. I pushed down with my hands to help myself sit up. Whatever I was touching wasn't my bed or blankets. As I sat, I looked down to see I was resting on a huge pile of oversized leaves. It looked like I was in a bird nest, except it was greener and flatter. What the fuck? I thought I must still be dreaming. Maybe it was the virus I must have caught from the cleanup at Conan's. Probably a fever, I thought. I remembered hearing how a high fever can cause hallucinations. Then I remembered hearing the voice in my head when I was in class. I was sure it was what was causing my funky dream. I took a second to take stock of how my body felt. Sure, I was dreaming, but since I knew I was, then maybe I had enough awareness to tell how sick my body felt. Weird. I felt fine. No, I felt awesome. Not sick in the least. In fact, I felt pretty damn good. I shrugged, thankful I at least didn't have to be sick in my dream. I turned my attention to my surroundings again. My eyes now adjusted to the darkness of the sky and the nearby wall of trees, and the brightness coming in from one side where the bonfire was.
It worked.
The woman's voice came from behind me. She sounded familiar. I spun around on my bed of leaves, still seated. Holy shit. 2 women stood before me. Not Monica and Sydney. Each of the 2 women wore a tattered skirt. No, a loincloth. Well, a loin skirt. I mean, the cloth tapered down in front of their crotches, but rose up in a V, giving no coverage to their legs or hips. Savage land couture. Their tops were of the same style, though woefully inadequate to conceal the ampleness of their breasts. The brunette raised the long silver staff she was holding as she spoke.
Thank the heavens! Our guardian has returned to us!
Wait, what? The blonde woman stepped up next to the brunette and leaned closer to her. I heard her whisper,
He doesn't look like the guardian. In time,
the brunette said, lowering her staff. A smile slowly drew up her cheeks.
He's our champion, and we must help him to become his destiny.
The blonde scrunched her nose and tilted her head to take a better look at me. She shrugged.
I'm new at this. I trust you're right, but I hope he's ready before we need him.
The smile on the one with the staff faded as she said,
I hope so too.
I scooted to the edge of the pile of leaves, which I saw was on top of a large stone platform. I hoisted myself down the 3 feet to the dirt below. My name's Dennis, I said, approaching the 2 women. I figure this is my dream, so we might as well get on with it. It looked like it could end up pretty good. My usual awkwardness didn't come into play. Nothing to stress over in a dream, I figured.
I'm Alara,
the brunette said.
Priestess of Carnera, but you are not dreaming.
What? Of course I am, honey. I stepped over to her. Man, she was hot. Nice name, though. I'm not sure where I came up with that one, but it's good. Carnera, though. I just pulled that one out of my ass. I noticed the blonde's eyes widen. Her jaw dropped slightly, leaving her mouth open, but she didn't say anything. Alara took a breath and let it rush out with a huff.
I remember how difficult this can be. Come with me.
She gestured for me to follow her as she turned. Her loin skirt slightly bounced erotically against her full tanned ass when she walked. The sight made her request to follow her easy to comply with. I noticed the blonde looked at me with curiosity and maybe a bit of confusion as she walked beside me. I saw her gaze lower, and I glanced down to find out what she was looking at. Oh yeah. I only had my boxers on, and between falling asleep next to Monica and Sydney, then seeing these 2 scantily clad babes, the blood flowed, if you know what I mean. We were heading toward a small stone building 50 or so feet away, nestled under the canopy of tall trees. There was a small fire just in front of the building, off to the side.